I honestly think people do not talk enough about Marathon. Marathon is one of the greatest disasters in this generation. Now, don't get me wrong, Concord is without a doubt the greatest disaster in gaming in a literal decade. 400 plus million for Concord. Sony actually bought into the idea that it's gonna be the GTA killer, that it's gonna overthrow Battlefield, Call of Duty, Valorant, and all of the other things. Pure insanity, I know. But Marathon, I think people just hate Bungie, and so they don't really look at how insanely bad everything with Marathon is. So let me break it down just a little bit. Marathon, we don't know how much it's gonna cost. We don't know what the estimates are, but I can safely assume at this point, from my perspective, that most likely Marathon is already 400 million. And Marathon is not even close to being released because it's currently undergoing a full design after the insanely justified backlash from the community and players. It has had like 100 literal different problems right now. Gameplay, marketing, design, art thievery, and so much more. And it's from the failed company Bungie that literally is trying to throw a Hail Mary, even at this point, even though Sony pretty much literally owns them at this point. But, you know, the big guys at the top need to abandon ship with maximum profits, so, you know, Marathon needs to be pushed out. There's so many things that surround Marathon that are... I mean, you could probably seriously make a documentary an hour or two long about the insanity that Marathon is from a business perspective. It is wild. It is insane. And we're not even close to finishing it. When Marathon launches, because they're not abandoning it at this point, it's happening. Oh, boys. The genderless new male shooter with zero blood or anything is gonna be released because, again, I think that they are most likely around 400 million already money spent on this thing. They're releasing it. They're not scrapping it. Marathon is happening one way or another. So, I mean, get ready because it's gonna be a wild ride.
I look good. I mean, really good.
Looks like shit.
It does look like shit.
Wait, was that Waterworld? The first one was John Burgundy, but was that Waterworld?
What is up, Space Pirates? This is your Admiral, the Chud Champion Dr. Disaster, and it seems apparent.
Only I get to call myself the Chud Champion. The next thing he's gonna say that the next thing you know, he's gonna proclaim himself as a Nazi. Like, whoa, slow down there, Chief. Okay, let's not cross the lines of boundaries.
That Bungie has a new release date in mind for Marathon, at least behind closed doors, because they have just started a campaign to launder that game's image.
I'm feeling much better now.
When the gameplay was initially revealed for that game, people ripped that video apart because it looked sluggish and generic, the characters looked as awful as Concord characters, and Bungie thought they would be able to cleanse their image back then by turning their alpha test into an open alpha, removing the non-disclosure agreement from their alpha players, thinking that those guys would defend them. Unfortunately for Bungie,
I mean, Bungie is a very insane company. Keep in mind, Bungie is ridiculously woke. If you fired 99.9% people at Bungie, you would still have a majority woke-led company.
Though, even the alpha test players did not think much of the game, and as you can see from this image here, after a week, these players stopped playing this free game.
I mean, if we're being completely real, you look at this graph, and unironically, the Outer Worlds 2 and Avowed seem more impressive than this. Ouch.
Playing this free game.
Owie!
Marathon was received so poorly that Bungie pushed back its release date. Originally, this game was supposed to come out in September, but...
By the way, even this pixel stuff and selecting is supposedly stolen from someone. Like, every piece of art still in this game is technically stolen as far as I understand. I could be wrong on that, by the way, but almost all art pieces have been stolen in this game, which is kind of wild because artists are the easiest job in the universe, okay? I could wake up the next day and be a competitive artist, okay? Every one of us could be an professional artist like right fucking now. Art is stupid, okay? So, the fact that they needed to steal all of their art is just kind of wild.
They pushed it to sometime next year, and they've kept as quiet as they could ever since, hoping that the firestorm of negativity would go away while they tried to fix the game in the background.
You can run, but you can't hide, bitch!
Well, it appears as though Marathon is ready to try it all out again because their purposeful absence on the internet has been replaced by a sudden and noticeable blitz of supposedly positive news being leaked out.
Yeah, I haven't seen this.
Out by their mainstream media buddies. This news was leaked out here, telling us that the voice actor of Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2 is now a part of Marathon, as if that's the sort of thing that's going to suddenly entice players to play this game. And
yeah, I mean, cool, but who cares? The days when companies could actually get away with saying, oh, this famous person coded one line of dialogue in this game, and people actually buy it is long gone, okay? I don't care who voices what in Marathon. That's not gonna make my decision better.
We've also got this news coming out as well, where they are trying to spin things so that it looks like it's being revealed that the Marathon closed tests are being well received. They must have a launch date in mind by now, because this seems like the first steps toward marketing the game.
So, needless to say, everything with Marathon was wrong. Everyone knew everything with Marathon was wrong, and now nothing has been changed. And they're saying, oh, Marathon's ready for launch. This is just... Well, everyone knows this is going to be a disaster. If Marathon on launch honestly has even 10k concurrent players, that's kind of going to be an achievement at this point, because everyone knows how bad Marathon is. Everyone knows how bad it is. Everyone has eyes and can look at this and be like, the fuck is this? I'm not gonna play that. So, it's over.
What's funny though is that Bungie seems to labor under the delusion that sprinkling out stories like this is going to be enough to turn around the fortunes of one of the most poorly received games that we have seen in a while.
I don't know where you get your delusions, laser brain.
But no, I've had a lot of... Make sure you check Disaster 1, and if you feel like supporting the channel and helping keep the lights on, consider becoming a member for as little as $5 per month. In any event, let's take a look at what Bungie is trying to do with Marathon.
Boys, listen, I'm gonna be real with you, okay? Like the video and hype it up on a mobile device. It takes less than a second. I'm grateful for all of you who do it. It truly makes a difference. It helps the channel out a lot. I mean, the difference is literally noticeable if you like the video. It does help a lot. So thank you for everyone who does it. And if you think that this stuff is important, then definitely like the video right now, hype it up. Again, takes less than a second. And thank you sincerely for everyone who does it. It does help, so I'm grateful.
Now, for full context on this story, I think we need to revisit this headline here. I covered this on the channel a few months ago, but as you can see, Bungie actually had to pay people in order to get...
500 per month to play Marathon is, by the way, daylight robbery if anyone accepted this, okay? I demand to know who did this. so I can laugh at them, because this is 500 to play Marathon for a month? Bruv.
Them to play their game for a month. They shelled out $500 per player, and that makes it very difficult to trust the opinions of any of the people who are testing their.
It should be, but I disagree with this point, by the way. I think it's easy to trust the opinions of the right people, because we all know, everyone watching this at this point understands how corrupt, unreliable the AAA gaming industry is, and how unreliable a lot of people on YouTube are, because they get early access to games and special treatment and all of that. No one longer is buying this worked for literal years, by the way, but at this point, how many of you are honestly buying the same old speech of, this video got sponsored by Company X, but I told them I'm only taking the sponsorship if I can say whatever I want, even the negative stuff. I'm such a hero! Yeah, no one believes that any longer. Okay, saying that doesn't mean that you're actually gonna give your real opinion. And this is the same. No one's gonna... Everyone now knows to judge for themselves, okay? There are some people who look at my videos and say, oh, because of you, I looked at this game again, and I was like, nope, yeah, true, not gonna buy this garbage. But no one is saying, oh, because of you, I blindly follow everything you say, and now I haven't bought these games, and I'm only playing Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon, which you should, it's a great game.
Game these days. They are essentially paid employees of Bungie, at least for all intents and purposes when it comes to their opinions of Marathon. It's especially impossible to trust anything they say on this subject without seeing some accompanying gameplay with my own eyes. The first information that we saw from this game was so piss poor.
By the way, the most insane thing about Marathon is, if my honest opinion about this game is, that this probably could have been made in 2 or 3 years by just a single talented dev, if they had the art library available for this. I'm not gonna lie. Just a single talented person or two probably could make an imitation of Marathon in a year or 2, maybe 3.
That I can't believe that they could even come close to fixing this game in just a few months, especially when you consider that they started developing this game all the way back in 2019. So, in 6 years, the best they could do was crank out a clunky looking turd of a game, and yet somehow I'm supposed to believe that it's been fixed after just a few months? Also, keep in mind that they used this tweet here several months ago as a means of trying.
You know what's pissing me off, actually? Again, I know this is a me thing, but it pisses me off when you just have this nature that's not real. For example, these trees. Why are they growing with bends? Trees don't fucking do that. They grow towards sunlight, and I mean, it looks like there's no problem with sunlight there, so why are these trees just magically bendy for no reason? It looks so awkward.
Used this tweet here several months ago as a means of trying to hype the game up. They played it off as though this guy is a neutral player of the game, as if he's just a content creator, but if you look here...
By the way, Bungie, I will shill for you if you pay me, okay? Just saying, just saying.
He is the person who created this Marathon.
Well, I say that, but no one ever takes me on my offer. No one ever takes me up on my offer.
Game. Anyhow, with all of that context in mind, here is the news from Insider Gaming that things are looking super positive for Marathon. It says at the bottom there, Marathon's latest round of closed technical testing is unraveling as we speak, and in social circles, the inevitable leaks are surfacing. While Bungie has been quick to plug the more serious leaks, comments have made it to social media platforms and are staying up for all to see. In other words, Bungie is making sure that nobody gets to see any gameplay for the game, because they don't want us to know what Marathon is actually going to be like.
Oh my god.
But oops, they somehow are missing all of the so-called leaks that make it sound like everybody is having a really fun time with this game.
Yeah, that's the most desperate thing ever. And when gamers hear that part specifically, I think all hell breaks loose.
am suspicious of these AAA studios by nature these days, and that's only because they have tried lying to gamers and using all kinds of underhanded tactics too many times to trick us into buying their games that by now I always feel that I must assume that they are up to some bullshit, and my assumptions like this have really served me well. But the article then says, on Reddit, users breaking their NDA or sharing content from others who have broken their NDA have uploaded clips and screenshots from the marathon tests. These have already been taken down, but the opinions and comments from those playing the game are still up and represent a mostly positive reception. Once again, isn't that weird? Back in April, when the
Amazing.
alpha tests came out, Bungie thought their gameplay was going to win people over, and when we made fun of them, they went into hiding. Now, they're happy to let positive comments remain online, but the gameplay is being taken down, and I've got to ask, why do you think that that is? Why was it okay to show off gameplay several months ago, but not now?
I mean, it's just an excuse, obviously.
Sounds to me like they're trying to hide this crap, but the article continues, attempting to help Bungie launder their game's image. It says next, in the newest marathon leaks to hit the social space, users seem to be experiencing mixed feelings about Bungie's floundering extraction shooter. Earlier this year, Marathon was delayed by Bungie amid a wave of issues, leaving prospective fans out in the cold and unsure of what would happen next. This was after information surfaced regarding stolen art appearing in Marathon, which was addressed by Bungie, and I've just got to cut in there and refute this bullshit claim from these corporate shills. The stolen art issue does not appear to have been properly addressed. To this day, the artist that they allegedly stole from is still complaining that they have not been properly compensated. But reading on, the article says, as Marathon came crashing down, we heard information from employees at Bungie concerning the free-falling morale at the studio. At the start of October,
Good, good. That's actually what I want. If their morale drops at Bungie, which obviously it should have, because imagine someone just takes a ginormous steamy pile on something that you worked on. It doesn't even matter if you don't believe it. It's still kind of painful that, something that you put in effort in, even if you got paid for it, just people make fun of it. I mean, they 100% deserve it, but if the morale drops, the product is gonna get worse. And I want that. Absolutely full disclosure. I want that. I want Marathon to be as bad as possible so it's as funny as possible. There is no world where this game is good. There's no world where this game gets saved. There's no world where even 5% of the people who are going to install it are going to think that this is decent. So I want it to be as bad as possible so we can have as good of a time as possible making fun of it.
it was revealed that a new closed technical test would take place under the NDA, with Bungie inviting several hundred players to experience the evolution of Marathon behind closed doors. Inevitably, information has leaked from that closed test. On Reddit, one user praised work done on factions and quests, while another bagged on some weird mechanics, such as paying credits to remove attachments from your weapons. The latter user also hated limited stash space, poor audio, and the continued existence of bullet magnetism. Those comments came after 25 hours of playing the NDA to Marathon, and ultimately, the user stressed that they're still enjoying the game, but they hope it receives the time.
By the way, Marathon is cooked just because of this. Because if they're if the official narrative currently that not Bungie is spreading, but people have gathered from the leaks, is that half people are enjoying it and half the people are saying that there's problems, means that the people testing this game were not random people. They were specifically chosen amongst them, and not specifically chosen for their fairness, because they wanted some good news and positivity. Because when Marathon came out and we saw it, no one fucking liked it. So the idea that you have a closed test with 100 people or something like that, and half of them are positive and the other half is not positive, is bullshit. Like 90% of the feedback should be negative because Marathon is the same game still. So this doesn't make sense.
In the oven that it needs. And let me just interject.
Well, a lot of things need ovens at this point. It is what it is. In any case, that was a Dr. Disaster. 10 out of 10. Bye!